This little spot is called Wubin Rocks. I'm not sure exactly how many areas there are to park here. We saw a couple of small places on the track on the way in, and there's this big open area. And we did go up to the top and have a look. There's a large sort of gravel pit up there, but it's looks like it's used as a bit of a rubbish dump by the locals, and not very pleasant. So we had just a quick drive around there and then came back down here. Quite a few wildflowers about still, so have a little look around, see what we can find. The Great Northern Highway is over there behind the trees. It's probably half a kilometre or so away. A little bit of road noise, but really not that bad, I don't think. It looks like there were a lot more wildflowers here probably a week or two ago. They've all browned off now, but this whole area here, I think, would probably have been alive with them at some stage. I think probably the whole area here would have looked like this just a week or so ago. Some areas around Wubin Rocks are still flowering really well, but it's obvious from where we are parked that it's a little bit past its peak, unfortunately. It's sad to see all these dandelions coming into the area, because these things are going to take over, and probably within a few years it's going to end up looking like Bunteen Rock does now, nothing but weeds as far as the eye can see. Today we're stopping at a place called Xantippe. Now, probably the most noteworthy thing about Xantippe is it's the only place I can find, there may be others, but only place I've seen so far that has a name starting with an X. And to date I had no real information on it to put on the website, so at least now I'll have a little bit of information, some photos, and perhaps a little bit of video so that people can see what it's like. There's a very large area on the track on the way in which you can come in and park up. You can camp here. I'm just about to go for a wander, and apparently there's a tank up the end of the track. Quite often when you're walking around wildflower areas you'll spot a ribbon tied to something. Always worth checking it out because there could be an orchid nearby. Sure enough, down here, a little tiny one that anybody walking by on the track would probably have missed. In fact, there's a few there. Quite a nice breeze up here, coolish today because of the clouds. Makes it a good day to go for a bit of a walk, which is what I'm doing. The old tank here is obviously still holding water. Don't know how high up, but some good leaks in it too. As it's draining away down on the low side here. So I've got an old water pipe running down the side of the rock. Obviously some sort of catchment at the top there, and that's what they are feeding the tank with. And that is the old stone wall on the rock trick. Anybody my vintage will probably know what old TV show I'm referencing when I say that. And that pipe runs down to the tank, which is over near that car. You can just see through the bushes there. Well, we hadn't planned to be at Xantippe for 2 nights, but we were just pulling out this morning and heard some odd scraping sounds coming when we were going over the ruts in the track. And one of the mudguards at the back here was scraping more than it would usually do. Got out and checked the rear tyres. And unfortunately that one has gone dead flat. I think the inner tube is stuffed. Now I could take the wheels off and put the spare on, but getting an inner off one of these things is a complete pain in the bum if you don't have to do it. And you can run on one of these tyres for some distance without worrying too much about it. I whacked a bit more air into the outer, and we will run on that tomorrow. It's Sunday today, so there's no point going into town. The tyre itself is still intact and no signs of it deteriorating, so we'll just run on this outer tyre. That'll get us into town, which is about 30 kilometres away, and we'll get somebody else at the tyre centre to pull the wheels off. Probably the inner tube, as I say, that's gone on this one. We'll get that fixed up, whatever is the cause, and then hopefully be on our way. Unfortunately it means backtracking 30 kilometres, but better than being stuck out in the boonies without any assistance. I guess I can't complain too much. It's a beautiful bright sunny day, and at the moment at least everybody else has disappeared from the campsite and we seem to have the place to ourselves for a while. So I figure I might just stick the drone up and see what I can see from that, and then go and do a bit of walking.